This is my entry for this week's DreamSnap, Royal for a Week. Now for this one, I liked the idea of doing something with water and a balcony, but otherwise I had no idea what I wanted to do. So I just started taking out interesting items, hoping something would spark an idea. I liked the newer storybook veil items, and decided to try to build something with them, using the divine columns and pairing them with the elegant stone fence. Now I didn't want to just copy what I had done with my golden hour magic star snap, so I was trying to do some interesting angles. And I had just recently gotten the curling stone vine decorations, so I kinda wanted to use them. So now that I had a rough idea of what I wanted to do, I rearranged the items to be at a better angle, trying to get them to line up. Scooting the columns around, trying to get them to match up with the fence. Trying to keep them even with each other. I wanted to use the new gazebo, but wasn't sure where to put it. Since I wanted to put water on the other side of the fence, I thought it could be cool to do a bridge walkway that led to it. So I left it there for now, extending my fence in columns, trying to get the stone vines placed evenly apart. And I realized they are not spaced evenly, scooting one side to match the other, checking at a better angle. Still looked mirrored, so started the fence leading out to the gazebo. Debated what angle to have the fence at. I didn't want to see the seam, but the angled look felt too narrow for a walkway, so I ended up straightening it, extending it out, adding columns and stone vines. Scooting the gazebo down to fit the rest of the rail, checking how that's looking. I like it, but something's not feeling right, so I leave it there for now and start filling in the water. And stone vines are blocking it from getting as close as I wanted, so scooting them to the other side and adjusting the columns to fit them, switching them around and adding the water. Still feel like something's off, so trying to add the red rose stone fence to see if that helps. And I kinda liked it behind the fence. Scooting the column and get rid of the gazebo, since it wasn't quite matching. Adjusting the other side to match, scooting them all closer so they are all at the same spacing, adding the red rose fence on the other side, and placing more water. Checking how that's looking. And reluctantly decided I didn't like the center walkway, so got rid of it, and the entire right side. Scooting the water over, and brought the rose stone fence out. Adding more water, continued the stone fence. I wasn't sure how far out I needed everything, but figured bringing it out too much would be better than not enough. Alternating the columns and the stone vines, trying to make sure to keep them evenly spaced. Checking how that's looking. And decided the stone vines were too much, so I got rid of them. Adding the golden opal road with border for my flooring. And I ran out, so I added some carpets to extend it out more. Checking how that's looking. And I like that so far. So exiting furniture mode briefly to make sure I don't lose anything. Checking some of the tag items to see if I want to add any of them. I liked the magnolia arch, so I tried to see if it would work. Not really feeling it. I tried out the mythical cloud throne. Not sure about it, so I debated it while I looked through some other tag items. And decided I didn't like the cloud thrones there. I thought the date night exterior table looked cool, so I tried placing them. Briefly considered the clock, but it didn't feel right. I decided I didn't like the tables, and reluctantly admitted I needed to change the setup. I needed to be able to add some tags in, and this open design with a water backdrop wasn't leaving me with many spots where I could hide items. So I thought I'd add an interior section, and some fake walls, so I could hide some tags behind them. Trying to make sure my walls are at the same angle, checking how far apart I need them to be, adding more columns, trying to line them up with the fence. Checking how that's looking. Adding some darker bookcases as fake doors leading out. The carpet is going too far out, so cleaning up some of the pathing so I can click on and fix my carpet. Adding back the carpets in the interior area. Trying to get them centered, and annoyingly, they can't be. Continuing the pathing to lead up to the carpets, extending my walls. Checking how that's looking in camera mode. I like it, but you can't even see the water. And I didn't really want the winter-looking trees showing, so I needed to pick out some trees to block them off. I thought the pink could look pretty, so I added some of them. Getting a better angle, they're not quite tall enough, so added some willows to fill in. Debated green versus blue, and I liked the green better since it matched the green leaves on the red rose fence, extending the trees out a bit more, and decided I wanted to add some closer to the front. So I got rid of some of the water, and put some pink trees there. Checking how that's looking. I liked that, so I added a few more trees. Filling some of the water back in. I considered the water curtain, but it didn't feel quite right. I liked the camel, but again, it didn't feel quite right. And I figured it was time to add some tags. While adding the tags, I found the enchanted fountain and added it by the fence, and the anniversary banner I swapped in. Tried to get them at a good angle and in a spot that would hide the seam between the bookcases. I liked the octopus table and thought it felt elegant with the glass and the gold. I added the enchanted castle standing candelabra as I thought it fit the theme. I was looking for the rose from Beauty and the Beast. I wanted to put it on the table since I thought it would be pretty, and was pretty sure I had put it down as one of my tags, but I couldn't find it, so I ended up just sorting by Beauty and the Beast and grabbed another one. Grabbed an oil lamp as well to compare with the candelabra. Debated Beauty and the Beast columns, but they weren't big enough to cover the gap. Scooting the column on the other side to hide that gap, considered the tiered fountain as I liked the rose on it, moved the other one out of the way to see if I liked it better. It felt too short and blocked by the rose on the table. Put the other one back. Adding the tea trolley, I wasn't sure where to put it, so I stuck it there for now. Grabbed the ballroom candelabra, comparing it with the other two, to see which one I wanted to use, and not feeling the oil lamp, so I got rid of that. Scooting the ballroom candelabra to the back and adding another. Added another enchanted one on the inside. Adding some fireflies. Considered the perched raven statue, but it didn't feel quite right. Added a graceful feminine dancer on the right and a graceful masculine dancer on the left. Added a lance/blade statue for a knight in armor look and mirrored on the other side. Scooted the dancers pack. Pulled the tea trolley closer. Time to bring in some guests. I knew I wanted Belle and was hoping to get Ariel since they were both mentioned in the challenge description, so it doesn't hurt to have them. Otherwise, I tried grabbing other princesses and couples. Checking how that looks. I wasn't sure what pose I wanted to use, and I wanted to have Belle a little closer. Debating the dog poses. Not sure how I feel about them. Trying the dragon pose, and I'm liking that one better. Debating camera positioning. And the pink trees are starting to feel out of place with all of the red. So, getting rid of them and swapping in some green ones instead. Swapping the ones in the back as well. And debating changing the banner out as well, since I'm not sure about the colors, and trying out the park banner lamppost instead. Checking how it looks in camera mode. And I like it, so swapping out the banners. Since a bunch of villagers are actually in the area, blocking them in, so they don't leave. Getting back into position. And I thought since I had Belle, and a bit of a Beauty and the Beast theme, it could be fun to add Cogsworth and Lumiere figurines to the table. Not bad, but still feeling a bit empty. So I grabbed some cologne bottles to block Belle in, since I thought they would hide better on the carpet than the mini pictures I usually use. And put them in the wrong spot. Still not right. Making sure she's locked in. Grabbing Ariel, since I thought it would be fun to have a few other princesses gathered around. Getting her into place and blocking her in. Grabbing Aurora and putting her next to Belle. Fixing the blockers. Grabbing Rapunzel and putting her next to Ariel. Checking how that's looking. Not bad, but it's feeling a bit off-center, so I want to add someone next to Aurora. Adding more villagers to the map. Moana volunteered, so adding her. Grabbed Merida, though I wasn't sure where I wanted to put her. Pushed Flynn back in and blocked the area off. Pushed Merida to the back, since I wasn't sure I could go out further. Checking how it's looking. Not bad, but something is feeling off. And I'm going to need to lock Jack or Hades behind the screen to get everyone to look at the camera. And Merida is too blocked back there. So, released her. Pulling Jack over with selfie mode. Grabbing him and pulling him to the front. Blocking up the area so no one escapes. Swapping the fence for some rocks, since they were casting a bit of a shadow at the bottom of the screen. And blocking Jack in. Getting back into position. I like it, but something's still feeling off. So I dropped some glimmer, sparkles, and lanterns to see if they might help. Putting a couple lanterns in the back, scattering some sparkles in, hoping they might also help disguise the cologne bottles, and added a few glimmer to the back. Checking how that looks. And I did not like the cologne bottles showing so clearly by Moana, so I decided to hang out with her and get rid of them. Checking if that helped. It's feeling a little better, but I really didn't like seeing the cologne bottles, but couldn't zoom in without cutting someone out of the shot. and didn't want to risk them escaping by using touch of magic with so many of them. So it was time to try something different. Cleaned up the blockers, except for the ones around Belle, since I still wanted her there. I wanted to get Eric and Beast, so I could put Eric and Ariel on one side and have Beast by Belle on the other. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with my character, but I figured I'd figure it out later. So after trying and trying and trying, Eric and Beast refused to come. So I had to load back to my valley to grab one. And both Beast and Belle were in their house. So I ended up just grabbing Belle again and loading back. Put her back in her spot, debating who I wanted to put where, since I didn't have Beast, Eric, or even Ariel anymore. And Rapunzel volunteered. So I decided to put her and Flynn off to the side, blocking her in, adjusting the blockers, going to grab Flynn, putting him by Rapunzel, and blocking him in. Adding some sparkles to help hide the cologne bottles, grabbing some of the other villagers to have wandering in the background, checking how that's looking. Feeling better, but I need to get Jack back if I want them looking at the screen. And got distracted by grabbing Merida, blocking it behind my character so no one escapes, grabbing Jack, blocking him in, and giving him less room to wander this time. And apparently blocked myself in with him, getting out and blocking it behind me, getting back into position. Why is everyone crowding Flynn? Okay. Checking how that's looking. Not bad, but the foreground corners are feeling empty, and I don't like the long shadow behind Belle. So, adding some more sparkles to the foreground, and swapping out some of the bookcases for rocks to get rid of the shadow, since they weren't in the shot anyway. I kind of like the closer look, so I'm going to need to move the sparkles. And it's feeling empty next to Belle. So that's making me want to change my character to look like a human beast, and put him next to Belle. I wasn't sure I was going to like it, but I really wanted to try. So I did my best to make Beast's human look, and the dragon pose pushed me into the table, so I'm going to need a different pose. Adjusting my position a little, trying another pose. Not really feeling them. I decided I should be hanging out with her, so I could get her to face forward and stay facing forward. Got distracted and gave her a footstool instead. Getting back into position, and trying Pua's pose. I was hoping to get his arms around her, but wasn't close enough. Decided to try Lucky's pose. That didn't work either. Trying to get Belle to turn around, and actually hanging out with her this time. Getting back into position. I tried a transition pose with Lucky, but that isn't really working either. I tried the sunbird and the monkey, but wasn't feeling them either. I liked that with the raccoon pose he leaned in, so I tried a different angle with that one. Tried to get a little closer, and I kinda liked that. Debated how close I wanted the camera and its angle. But you can't see the sparkles or the tea trolley, so I needed to move them. Checking if that helped. Sparkles need to move more, and I'm having trouble getting a good angle. Adjusting my placement, trying to get a little closer to Belle. Need to move more. A little more forward. Placement's better, and sparkles are better. But I'm not liking Flynn's and Rapunzel's positions on the left. They feel too far over, and I don't like seeing the cologne bottles. And I want to scoot the tea trolley further back. So I scoot the trolley, and release them for now. I don't like the trolley there, and it's definitely feeling empty now, and the dancer isn't feeling centered under that banner. So, scooting the dancers, moving the trolley to where Flynn and Rapunzel were, but the button sparkles are blocking, so I need to move them first. Adding some seaside royal bath plants to help fill in the area. And they're pretty and fancy, so I thought they fit the theme. Adding a couple royal potted plants as well, though I had to scoot the trolley to get it in there. Checking if that's better. That's feeling better, but it's still too empty on the left foreground. So I'm going to grab Rapunzel and Flynn and put them opposite Belle and my character. Blocking in Belle so she doesn't move while I go grab the others. Grabbing Rapunzel first, getting her into place and blocking her in. Grabbing Flynn and putting him next to her. Making the box a little smaller so they can't push each other. Getting rid of the other blocker by Belle. Almost forgot to hang out with her. Trying to talk to her to get her to face the way I want. Getting back into position. And pushed her too much. Putting her back. And trying again. That's feeling better. Now I just need to wait for them to get into better positions. And I'm pretty happy with how that came out. Though I still don't like seeing the cologne bottles. But otherwise I'm pretty happy. If you're curious, this snap took over 3.5 hours to do. Thank you for watching the video. Please like it if you found it at all helpful, and subscribe if you want to see more like this.